Older men often exude a quiet confidence that comes from years of experience, and this is something that naturally attracts women. This confidence isn't about bragging or showing off. It's about knowing who they are, being comfortable in their skin, and having clarity about what they want in life. Women notice the difference between someone who is truly confident and someone who is pretending to be. A man who walks into a room with calm assurance, who doesn't feel the need to prove his worth, immediately stands out. He speaks with authority, but listens with patience, showing that his confidence comes from genuine self-awareness rather than ego. The way an older man carries himself often reflects decades of life lessons. He has faced challenges, made mistakes, and learned from them. That depth of understanding allows him to handle situations with a composed demeanor, which is inherently appealing. Women tend to gravitate towards someone who can remain steady under pressure, who doesn't panic at minor setbacks, and who can approach problems with logic and empathy. This kind of confidence instills a sense of safety and stability, which is incredibly attractive on both an emotional and subconscious level. Confidence is often paired with decisiveness. Older men tend to know what they want and are willing to make choices without hesitation. This doesn't mean they are controlling. Rather, they are decisive because they understand the value of time and clarity. Women notice this decisiveness as a sign of competence and reliability. A man who can make decisions calmly, whether about travel plans, career choices, or everyday matters, signals that he is capable of taking responsibility, which fosters admiration and trust. There's also an elegance in restraint. Older men often know when to speak and when to listen, understanding that silence can carry more weight than words. This self-control reflects maturity and emotional intelligence. Women are drawn to men who don't feel compelled to fill every moment with chatter or constant attention, but instead allow conversations to flow naturally. The ability to be patient, attentive, and reflective without needing validation is a subtle yet powerful magnet. The confidence of older men often extends to their appearance as well. They understand how to present themselves without obsessing over trends or superficial judgments. Their style tends to be classic, polished, and intentional. Women notice when a man takes care of himself, not in a vain way, but as an extension of self-respect. Whether it's through grooming, dressing with taste, or carrying himself with dignity, these details signal that he values both himself and the people around him. Beyond physical presence, confidence manifests in communication. Older men often have a measured way of expressing thoughts, combining experience with clarity. They can articulate ideas without being overbearing, offering insights in a way that feels enriching rather than competitive. Women are drawn to men who can hold meaningful conversations, share wisdom, and stimulate intellectual curiosity without creating tension or judgment. It's this blend of confidence and intelligence that creates magnetic allure. Another element is authenticity. Confidence derived from experience is genuine and unpretentious. Older men are often past the need to impress others constantly. They embrace their quirks, accept their limitations, and own their past. This authenticity is deeply appealing because it allows women to feel safe in showing their own true selves without fear of judgment. The comfort that comes from being around someone real and grounded is irresistible. Confidence also shows in how older men handle relationships and social dynamics. They tend to be secure enough not to feel threatened by other people, including women's friendships or independence. This security fosters mutual respect and freedom, which women highly value. When a man can navigate interactions with ease, respect boundaries, and maintain composure in social settings, it signals maturity and emotional stability, traits that naturally attract deeper connections. The emotional steadiness of confident older men also inspires trust. Women are often drawn to men who can manage stress gracefully, handle disagreements constructively, and maintain composure in uncertainty. This reliability is comforting, signaling that they can be counted on when it matters most. It's a kind of quiet magnetism that doesn't scream for attention but quietly earns admiration and respect over time. Finally, confidence in older men often radiates as positivity and assurance. They don't dwell on insecurities or engage in petty competition. Instead, they focus on growth, learning, and meaningful experiences. This mindset is not only inspiring but also highly attractive because it creates an environment where women feel encouraged, supported, and appreciated. A confident man lifts the energy around him, making every interaction feel significant and valued. Emotional intelligence is a hallmark of older men that many women find irresistible. Having lived through various challenges, heartbreaks, and successes, older men often develop a keen awareness of their own emotions and the emotions of those around them. They can empathize without judgment, listen without interrupting, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Women feel seen and understood when they interact with a man who possesses this kind of emotional maturity, and it fosters a deeper sense of connection. Older men are often adept at handling conflict in ways that feel constructive rather than destructive. They don't resort to blame or drama, but instead communicate with clarity and compassion. This approach to disagreements is refreshing and comforting because it signals that the man values the relationship over ego. Women are naturally drawn to men who can navigate tension with calmness and wisdom, creating an environment of safety and mutual respect. This emotional intelligence extends to awareness of timing and space. Older men understand the importance of pacing in relationships. They know when to give support, when to encourage independence, and when to simply listen. Women appreciate this balance because it reflects a nuanced understanding of human behavior. Instead of overwhelming or smothering, an emotionally intelligent man cultivates trust, allowing intimacy and connection to grow naturally. Another key aspect is patience. Women notice how older men rarely rush emotions or demand instant results. They understand that meaningful relationships require time, effort, and thoughtful nurturing. This patience demonstrates that they value the process of connecting deeply rather than just seeking temporary validation. It allows women to feel comfortable exploring vulnerabilities without pressure, fostering genuine intimacy. Older men often excel at recognizing nonverbal cues, which is a subtle yet significant aspect of emotional intelligence. A gentle touch, a knowing glance, or a slight shift in tone can communicate understanding far more powerfully than words. Women respond to this kind of attentiveness because it signals that the man is truly present, attentive, and emotionally connected. This ability to pick up on nuances creates a sense of being valued and cared for on a profound level. Maturity often brings self-awareness. Older men tend to know their triggers, strengths, and weaknesses, which allows them to regulate their emotions effectively. Women are drawn to men who can admit mistakes without defensiveness and who can express vulnerability without fear of judgment. This balance of strength and openness creates a dynamic where trust and respect flourish naturally. Emotional intelligence in older men also manifests as compassion. They often have a deeper understanding of human struggles and a genuine desire to support others. Women are drawn to this empathy because it reflects depth and character. When a man can approach situations with kindness, even when under stress, it signals emotional resilience and moral grounding, qualities that form the foundation of lasting attraction. Older men often understand the importance of emotional reciprocity in relationships. They know that giving attention, affection, and validation is as important as receiving it. Women appreciate this balance because it creates a harmonious dynamic where both partners feel acknowledged and valued. This kind of emotional symmetry fosters lasting bonds that go beyond superficial attraction. The ability to communicate feelings effectively is another trait that distinguishes older men. They can articulate complex emotions without oversimplifying or dramatizing, which allows for honest, meaningful conversations. Women find this clarity refreshing because it removes unnecessary confusion and fosters mutual understanding. Emotional literacy becomes a bridge for deeper intimacy and connection. Finally, older men often combine emotional intelligence with humor and lightness, knowing when to uplift or lighten tense moments. Women are drawn to this mix of sensitivity and charm because it creates a sense of comfort and joy. The ability to balance seriousness with playfulness, empathy with laughter, is an alluring combination that makes interactions feel both profound and enjoyable. Life experience is one of the most magnetic qualities older men can possess. Years of diverse experiences, career, travel, relationships, challenges, and successes equip them with a broad perspective that younger men may lack. Women are drawn to this worldliness because it brings depth, wisdom, and an understanding of life that is hard to replicate. An older man's stories, insights, and reflections carry authenticity and richness that inspire admiration. Older men often approach life with curiosity and openness rather than rigid assumptions. Having navigated a variety of situations, they understand that there is always more to learn, and this mindset is captivating. Women are attracted to men who can engage in meaningful discussions about culture, philosophy, current events, or personal growth, offering perspectives that are both informed and nuanced. This intellectual curiosity adds vibrancy and depth to interactions. With experience comes confidence in decision-making. Older men typically have a refined sense of judgment, honed through successes and mistakes. Women value a man who can weigh options carefully, act decisively, and accept responsibility for outcomes. This ability to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and foresight signals reliability and competence, traits that foster long-term attraction. Travel and exposure to different cultures often enhance older men's worldliness. Women find it appealing when a man has first-hand knowledge of the world beyond his immediate surroundings. Stories of travel, encounters with diverse people, or immersion in new cultures communicate adaptability, curiosity, and an appreciation for life's richness. These experiences often make conversations engaging, inspiring, and enlightening. Older men also tend to have broader social skills cultivated over years of interacting with diverse personalities. They know how to connect with people from different backgrounds, handle challenging social situations, and foster meaningful relationships. Women are drawn to men who can navigate social environments with grace, humor, and empathy, creating an effortless sense of charm and charisma. Financial stability and life planning often accompany experience. While money alone is not the attraction, the wisdom to manage life responsibly is appealing. Women notice when a man has a plan, understands priorities, and can balance ambition with practicality. This sense of stability and foresight is comforting, signaling that he can handle life's responsibilities without unnecessary stress or chaos. Older men also often demonstrate resilience. Life inevitably brings setbacks, and surviving and thriving through them builds character. Women admire men who can maintain hope, adapt to change, and recover from difficulties without bitterness. This resilience signals strength of character and the ability to support others during tough times, enhancing attraction. Mentorship and guidance are another draw. With experience, older men often enjoy sharing knowledge in ways that inspire and educate rather than control. Women appreciate men who can offer insight, advice, or perspective without imposing, creating a sense of mutual growth and enrichment. The combination of wisdom and humility in guiding others is deeply attractive. Older men's appreciation for quality over quantity often manifests in lifestyle choices, from relationships to hobbies to travel experiences. Women notice when a man invests time in meaningful pursuits rather than chasing fleeting pleasures. This focus on depth and substance is magnetic because it signals authenticity, intentionality, and a life lived with purpose. Finally, older men's worldliness allows them to embrace diversity of thought and experience. They are often open to new ideas, willing to explore perspectives beyond their own, and capable of engaging in discussions that challenge them intellectually and emotionally. Women are drawn to this open-mindedness as it creates a dynamic of growth, stimulation, and shared exploration, making relationships with older men both enriching and deeply satisfying.